I got further to say this is why they are here, or this is what is going on, or whatever. But indeed, and what I can assure World Igbo Congress as a body, well, at the end of the day, what happened in Tampa may be the best thing that happened to World Igbo Congress. Because this Atlanta, I took this opportunity we need a special recognition to one of our own. I'm talking of none other than Chief Obidika Juchuku. Initially, I didn't think we didn't take some of these things. We didn't understand. Some of us are doing very, very good in this internet and business. We didn't understand what was going on. But if you go to the World Igbo Congress website in YouTube, you can know everything in Tampa live. I mean, from A to Z, recorded. And Chief Ajuchukwu, I hope I get as in Igbo. But because onye kwe na akwa nwere ihe ọ na-eme. Jide ka iji. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. This is the second meeting we are having since Tampa, and today, my executive and I are particularly happy for the opportunity afforded to us to serve you. Our people, you have given us the privilege that has enabled us to stand before you again this morning. And for that recognition, we will always remain grateful and happy to continue to serve you. Basically, Igbo are good people, and to serve them is a privilege. We have always gathered to discuss our problems, but today, I want us to focus on solutions. I have determined that even incremental solutions can add up to monumental successes. I will now go straight to the points. Some of the things in the make here now are suggestions, and some of those suggestions are what I would like us to have us move ahead on. And actually, at least carefully. And when we go into discussions, I go into some committees, in details, and develop a platform and a plan for people to go forward. First of all, it's very, very urgent for us now. The convention I did now Washington D.C. That convention will a very, very important event that is coming up, and a lot of interest generated already at that convention, even though we haven't even started sending out flyers. We are going to set up a committee that will handle the convention on behalf of World Igbo Congress and the hosting affiliate of Washington, D.C. We have an urgent need to come up with, and where is it now? We have an urgent need to come up with startup funds as deposit to the convention hotel facility. And we must make this deposit for us to be able to keep our reservations. There will be a further presentation on both the convention and the deposit requirements. This is a task that must be done. Last meeting, I'm on Washington, D.C., there was something we tried about taking names to develop a database of Igbo for people. And that thing showed us that it could be a tremendous success. And we waited to have our website come up, because website play a very, very vital role in that effort. Now that our website is up, thanks to this executive, Chachi Kezie, Mike Agolike, a whole host of people, and the person developed our website, we think that we are ready to go to the next step. Our goal is to develop an all-inclusive list of all Igbos in the diaspora. We have to start this and start doing it whichever way we can. Based on what we have tried, we think that the finance committee chairpersons should lead this effort, but then monitored and aided by the executive and a whole lot of other people. We must decide today whether we use our new website for this effort or employ other methods of developing the list. But we have to work on that list. We have to make that decision today. The other most important point and item for me and for this executive is there must be a vigorous, concerted effort to organize the diaspora Igbo women. And with special happiness today that when I look up in the audience, and we made a very, very good women presentation. And this is a good start. But now, starting from today, I just give you one statement. I was talking to a very, very important woman politician in Igbo with a lot of class. Also, listen, my mama Ohaneze, what about how many years? 15 years. Ohaneze. My mom work every time where I gather argue from pillar to post to Nkanka. When are we going to say maybe there should be another angle to this issue? Bring the women along and maybe listen to them. Maybe they may have a better idea. They may be able to reach the grassroots a whole lot quicker and more than we can. Therefore, we are going to go in a plan to help organize the Igbo diaspora Igbo women, and we are already working on that very, very seriously. We are identifying our women organizations both here in diaspora and at home in Nigeria, encouraging them to become involved with World Igbo Congress. We have every confidence that this effort will be very fruitful. And we are going to give you some of the suggestions that we have in mind. The third item that is very, very important is designation of World Igbo Congress patrons. There is a reason why we are going this route. This concept has been in our books and thoughts for some time, but has never been implemented. We are going to take that bull by the horn. We have done preliminary work on this, and there will be a separate presentation on this particular effort at this meeting today. In fact, after I finish my remarks. A presentation on this matter will be made to this body after my remarks, which I have already said. The next item, what we call unlimited delegation to World Igbo Congress. When I say unlimited delegation, in other words, we want to step back and say, in order not to leave any Igbo behind, every Igbo person should become a World Igbo Congress delegate or stakeholder or whatever we want to call it. We must find a way to really remove any limitations from any Igbo Choro to have his voice be heard in World Igbo Congress. I think we can devise levels and methods of participation that will help us make this happen. This is something that we must examine and look into. People must register delegates or stakeholders regardless of affiliates. And for record purposes, once a person is registered, WIC will automatically then assign that person an affiliate based on geography, based on geographical location. When we say people register and be delegates or stakeholders, it's not going to detract from the structure that we already have now, which is affiliate-based type of membership. But then, if you choose to be just a stakeholder, a delegate, come to the convention and let us have your say. Come to World Igbo Congress meetings and have your say. But I do not think that if you just register as an individual or as a just stakeholder, you will be able to run for, say, office in World Igbo Congress or whatever, that we are talking about. But this is a concept that we are going to set up people now to flesh out how this can work for us. But we must have this. The unlimited, I've said that. Unlimited registration will not and cannot conflict with affiliate organizations' membership. It will only create an option for every Igbo to be a part of what is going on. Stakeholders in what we must henceforth be entitled to the values. In other words, when we say values, apart from the few, when you say preaching to the choir, the motivated few na abia a meeting, no matter about they come. I think that will go a point. I must indeed when a diaspora needs to sit down and create values that no matter who you are, Igbo, when we value they feel that every part of World Igbo Congress, this is the game for you as a person. Let's say World Igbo Congress gets involved. I think that World Igbo Congress is big enough to even have things like insurance schemes and all kinds of things that we can do to create values that our people will tap into as being members of World Igbo Congress. And we are going to set up a group of people to work out all these things, create these values, and then have it implemented in World Igbo Congress. The details of this is going to be worked out. Then, to round some of these things up, I'm going to also have a committee working with our legal team, legal advisor, look into some of these things I now propose, making sure that now they fit in within our current structure, our current constitution and everything. If there are areas that we need to tweak or mend something to make this work, we have that done. Because there are a lot of things we are doing now already, like things that relate to our convention. In fact, for the past 3 years, we have never really been doing it exactly as it is stated in our constitution. So we may need to have a committee just sit down and align us in all these areas as we move forward. So these are some of the things I'm going to expatiate now as I go to the second phase of this presentation. Then in conclusion, brothers and sisters, we should start today to add names to the database. There is an important reason for this effort. WIC must end the practice of having the majority of our people standing on the sidelines. Occasional forays into the e-groups will not in any way ameliorate the problems facing our people. People do not have to be present here today to add their names. But those who are present must add names of the people they know. In other words, when you add their name, let us other people, friends, or whatever, that when we leave here at this meeting at John's, get those people and tell them, now you need to commit and your names are here now and you need to meet up here, do the right thing. We also start today to call on those of us who have the talent to help us and our people. All of us, everybody, one person cannot know everybody, but most of us know people that can help us in certain areas, certain ways. Let us get these people involved. We must exploit the virtue and strength in our unity. It was none other than the most admired Igbo literary giant himself, Professor Chebe, who in his 1983 book, The Problem with Nigeria, described Igbos as having a fantastic burst of energy and also self-confidence. Brothers and sisters, a fantastic burst of energy is evident everywhere in Igbo Union, in Jersey. And the WIC family must ride this wave of a fantastic burst of energy. It is good for our people. The most progressive people in the world are those with brain power and belief in themselves. We must resolve immediately to reach the greatest heights, but we must first empower ourselves. Get involved and realize that all of us must join hands and make our resolutions work. Once we empower ourselves, many things will fall into line. Soon, the struggle for the next dispensation in Nigeria will go into full gear. In fact, it has gone into full gear. We have started getting calls from political aspirants. What events are you guys doing now? We want to come with this one. We need to empower ourselves to be in a position to really, when we say this is our position, that will be our position. I am suggesting very strongly that no diaspora affiliate bid for the 2010 WIC convention. Rather, I suggest that we empower ourselves, empower World Igbo Congress, empower our people, and in 2010, we will all collectively march down to Igbo land and shake up ground zero with the first of a kind Igbo summit or convention or whatever we want to call it. I think no longer time I can carry this process down to Igbo land and energize our people. Brothers and sisters, the story of the destiny of Igbo cannot be written without the dedicated guidance of the Igbo best. And when we talk about the Igbo best, we are talking about Igbo in the diaspora. So, my executive members and I again welcome you and each every one of you. We are excited at the future prospects of our people, both here in the diaspora and at home in Igbo land. When we look at the Igbo landscape, we see a tremendous garden, a garden that needs tendering and watering. Let us guard our loins and go to work. For the task ahead of us, failure is not an option. World Igbo Congress must be enabled to address the Igbo problems of the 21st century. We have the people to champion this effort, and nobody else can accomplish this task for us. Igbo will overcome. Yes, we can, because we are learning something. Thank you very much. Let me continue. Let me continue and then go to my notes. These are some of the things that I would like everybody to take notes, listen to carefully, and then after that we just make a decision on them collectively, because we think that some of these things are very, very important. On the World Igbo Congress database that we are talking about, the only decision we need to make here is, as we make this list, okay, very important, can they may access? Is it, do we have a concern or the more appropriate now, as we make this list, say on our website or in any other type of format, for people to access it, do they need to have a password, or do they just need to be able to go to the website, click the link, and see what is going on? As we make that list, obviously we a delegate and or a stakeholder, obviously, in a contribution you're gonna make yearly to be a stakeholder of World Igbo Congress, a delegate, or the appropriate for things like that to be listed in that e-group or internet, whereby maybe you use password to be able to go into it, or I use the internet to get me our website. Is there any other better option? That is number. That is about the website. On the equal issue of diaspora women, we are working also with some women in Nigeria, and what we are talking about now is that we are going to have women coordinators in every state. As a matter of fact, some big states may have more than one coordinator. So, first of all, we are in the process of identifying and engaging these coordinators. In fact, some of them maybe that we have already talked to or identified, some of them may be here today. There will be a WIC women coordinator, and then there is already an Igbo land women group and coordinators. In the diaspora here, the way we're organizing it, we are going to have 2 men that will also help the World Igbo Congress monitor as all these coordinators organize our women. And in this area, based on all I look on there, we are not saying suggest this person, suggest to. We have determined that we want to use High Chief, Chief Titus Oswago, and Chief George Eze as the men coordinators are representing World Igbo Congress, with the women coordinators as we organize our women. the way we are looking at it, when our women are organized, we get all our women in line. Then when we, because there are Nigerian elements to it and there are diaspora, but when we go to a situation where we have programs that are women, they are the key role players, then the chair lady of the Women Affairs Committee of World Igbo Congress will then, come in and coordinate the programs. So I would like to have the World Igbo Congress formally empower the World Igbo Congress to move ahead with this effort. On the issue of patrons, I got to spend more time there because Dr. Idimbako himself will make a presentation on the patron issue once I finish this fleshing out what I'm talking about now. Then on the unlimited delegation, that is the area thing that we feel that a lot of work needs to be done. There will be terms of what this unlimited delegation will be of stakeholders. There will be issues about how they register. There will be question of suggested values that will accrue to every Igbo as you associate with the World Igbo Congress. So we are deciding, because I had to have about potential delegate. I said World Igbo Congress get all of that, but please, when we come, what we feel somebody can help us with. When we come, we say, and for that, we are setting up a committee. This committee, we're committing for the Elliott Commission. Honorable Elliott Isibo, we heard this committee. And the people, I haven't talked to him about this. I know he may slap me now. Once we can, but because there is a reason. There's a reason why we do this, and the people I would like to help him in this committee are people like Ralph Okere, Mike Ono, Demina Kaze, Dr. Popasale, Emawanko, Chief Udoji, and Okanku one from Boston. So after we will give Honorable Isibo names of these people, and then the modalities and the guidelines as to what we would like to see happen. And we are asking that within 30 days, let this body, this is what I cannot publish now. You put a part of what the Congress. This is what maybe or something, somebody we will be able to say or something. I mean, let us have some values. Then the last thing about the bylaws review committee, and this committee will craft the language to make sure that all these things I may propose will be in line with the way we do business. So the members of the legal committee, we can also add to this. But of course, our legal advisor, Moses Odiekwe, will be there. I'm also expecting that Sebastian Bezum will be there, the World Igbo Congress Vice Chairman, the Secretary General, and then we want this committee to be like a 9-man committee, just to make it odd, so that they wouldn't be having this thing. Then the last thing would be, if you think of anything for the benefit of Igbo that you can volunteer for, think of anything that you know you can do. Talk to us about the plan, get involved, and then let us work with you and work with Igbo to see this thing happen. A lot of people here are already doing a lot of things they are assigned to do. Again, nobody will do this thing for us. We will do it for ourselves. So as you all think this thing, these are principles that we would like to have approved, and then we go to work on. Meanwhile, one of the most important ones, like the patron thing, because it involves money and everything, I am going to ask Dr. Idimbako please come down and make this proposal. After that, then we'll go into the approval process of whichever we want to do, either by acclamation or please, Dr. Idimboka, please.